Good morning, day 13. What does this mean? Does this mean I have big wellies? Well, no, not really. We are with Digger. Isn't it cute? It's a little tiddly widdly Digger. What is it, a Yanmar? They're pretty good actually. So we're going to be very careful. First thing to do is get this concrete fence post and stuff out. Shouldn't be too difficult. And then see where it gets us. But yeah, quite a bit of digging, quite a bit of being careful actually. So yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, well, digging progresses. We found a water line we didn't know about. The digger didn't even feel it. And then we've gone round and round, and there's Rob digging away, doing a bloody marvellous job. Let's try and focus on him. There we are. We've got a fair bit of this is lovely soil to dig because it's mostly sand, and as such it's quite straightforward. And yeah, it's going really well. Well, that was a day. Started off very exciting and then progressed, and we have shifted a lot of dirt. You wouldn't believe how much dirt you shift, and this is just a tiny amount. There's probably an equal amount in the skip. Yeah, let's go and have a look downstairs. And yeah, during the day I had a bit of a wardrobe malfunction. Nobody needs to see my legs. These trousers have had better days. So yeah, don't think you'll be seeing them again. Not quite as much as it looks, but enough. I've still got all that space to fill. Anyway, right, so front corner of the house. That's where the footings need to be dug to. Okay, a little bit to go, that's fine. That's where the wall will end, which is fine. Oh, and look what's in the way. Great, okay, we'll get that moved. Right, so this is what we've done so far. And yeah, it's kind of worked okay. We didn't put a digger through that water line. That cable is an earth cable. There'll be what's called a driven rod under here somewhere. That might not actually be used, but I'm not going to take any risks. We found a downspout, like a gutter downspout grid thing there. Totally redundant, so that came out with the drain. Oh, drain, yes. You can't quite, you can almost see it. Just that little bit there, that's just the top of it. Okay, so that's disappearing downwards. That's probably going to have to come out. Now, problem. Okay, so if you imagine let's tell you what, let's look at it side on. Okay, you've got the wall of a house. Okay, comes down to the foundations, which step out a little bit. The force pushing down is going to be pushing out at 45 degrees in either direction. Okay, so if you dig down to what we've been told to, 1,000 millimeters below ground level, okay, that's the edge of the trench, and you bring it along. Let's get out of the sun. Let's get in the trench. The 1,000 millimeter down is going to be inside the 45 degree line. Okay, now that might not make much sense, but if I draw it out, it will. Okay, so using a convenient piece of skirting board. So here's our house wall, okay, and then we've got our foundations, like so. the force is, if I draw that 45-degree line, okay, the force downwards will spread out in that sort of area. Okay, so if my trench does this, okay, this is exaggerated, all right. If the bottom of my trench comes inside that 45-degree line, get it in focus, then we have a problem, because that could push that way, oops, with an arrow that works, and it could crack, topple, slide, do whatever. So if that was there, if we'd done this afternoon what we've been told to do without thinking, then we would have been inside the 45-degree line. So what did we do? We didn't dig as deep. So you see the bottom of there, and if you imagine just going down a little bit at that point and then coming across at 45 degrees, you don't hit the bottom of the trench. So the side of the house is safe for now. What I'm going to do is to get the building inspector down tomorrow and ask her, I think it's a lady that we're going to see, what she wants me to do. It's her call. It's not the architect's. He designed the building. The building inspector is the person who signs it off and makes sure it's done correctly to building regulations, so that the homeowner can have confidence that it's been done properly. And I am totally behind that. I want to do a proper job. I'm not going to skimp, I'm not going to cut corners, I'm not going to take chances. I'm going to do it properly. And if it means it goes on a little bit longer, that's just fine. And if it costs a little bit more because we have to have more concrete or we have to put rebar in it, that's perfectly fine, because I want this to be here for as long as the building has already. So anyway, so that's that. As we were digging here, we were barrowing muck out that way, and that was starting to just slide a little bit. So it was doing exactly what I just explained with regard to the foundations for the house. There was load on it, unsupported within the 45-degree line. It's starting to slip. So I put those trench supports in, just temporary trench supports. I mean, once there's concrete in the bottom, it's going to be fine, because the concrete will push out and take the load and all that sort of thing. So anyway, that's that. You might be able to see underneath, but you can't because there's no contrast. There's a water pipe going under this little bridge. There's a water pipe in the bottom of this trench under there somewhere. It's protected by soil, so that's good. And when we come down to here, that is, well, it's 1,000 millimeters below finished floor level. But on closer inspection of the plans, it needs to be 1,000 millimeters below ground level. But quite honestly, we're on natural sand there, and the nursery rhyme says that you shouldn't build on sand. Actually, it's probably one of the best things you can build on, because you can't compress it. So if that hasn't been disturbed, it's just perfect. You can't compress it. If I built on clay, it can dry out, it can hydrate, it can heave, it can sink. Sand is perfect. So I'm thinking, once we're into the natural, which is what we call that, we're fine. So tomorrow we will get a pronouncement. But in the meantime, we have Mount Ellsworth. And we have a hole, well, we've got lots of hole. We've made a difference today. Rob's been brilliant driving the digger. He's dented me wheelbarrow a little bit, but no, he's been brilliant driving the digger, and it's saved me easily a day's work. I can't thank him enough. And tomorrow we'll hand dig the rest just to precise it up a bit. It's kind of, we need to dig out a little bit more, we need to dig out a little bit more just to line it up and what have you. So we'll do that tomorrow. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. It's been a day. Oh, it's been a day. So there we are, with excitement. Can't promise excitement tomorrow, but hey, there we go. Such is life.